the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. That I will achieve, because I do the things I should, between my brethren kind and good. So I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. That I will achieve, because I do the things I should, between my brethren kind and good. So I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. reach the top somehow.
Okay, my Straight Talk family, when you hear that theme song, you know it's time for another edition of Straight Talk. And time for me to say greetings to the world. Because yes, we are on the World Wide Web, and we reach and we communicate with you all over the globe. So my Straight Talk family, I'm at liberty to say greetings one more time. And just to inform you that we are coming from the beautiful paradise of St. Kitts and Nevis. So I must say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night to the entire Caribbean region. And I will also say good night to the world, because we are on the World Wide Web, and we reach and touch you, we reach and communicate with you, I should say, all over the globe. Some of you are in Asia. There's some of you in Africa. There's some of you in Europe. And there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I am at liberty to say good night. I can say good morning. And I will also say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And for the first timers, I want to say welcome. We do normally have first timers, and I thank all who continue to share the link. Because when you share that link, we do have first timers. And before I go any further, I must say it would be remiss of me if I did not apologize for what is a slight tardy start tonight. Trying to get things under control. We have done so now, so we do apologize for, again, my little tardy start. And for the first timers, just to inform you, as I was going to say, that Straight Talk is a public service program, and we thank those who continue to share the link, I must also say. It's a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national, regional, and international interests, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And on this program, we try as well to raise the level of national, regional, and international discourse. National, regional, and international consciousness by alerting our people to their rights, to their obligations, and certainly to their responsibilities as well. And my name is Ian Patches Liebert, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And as your host, I always pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. And I'm always reminded by a favorite hymn of mine. I do, in fact, like the excerpt from that hymn, which goes something like this: we are called to be God's prophets, searching for the truth or speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things. We bring all those evil things to light. So let's seek the courage needed, my Straight Dog family, our high calling to fulfill, that we may all know the blessing of the doing of God's will. And my Straight Dog family, I want to remind you, and for those who are joining me for the first time, to inform you that here on Straight Talk, nothing, absolutely nothing, is watered down on this program, neither by omission, neither by exaggeration. We do not move away from the truth. We do not create sensationalism. We have no need to create excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we always try to lean on the facts. It is my bounden duty to present what I call the unvarnished truth, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance, integrity. Here in our Blessings Federation, and as a matter of fact, wherever you find it in the world, because we are joined together with the people across our federation. We're joined together with the people in the diaspora all around the world. And my Straight Dog family, because of that, we entertain what I call a diversity of views. We are a different people, so it is always anticipated that we'll have different views. And we do entertain different views. But let us agree to disagree. But please don't sadden me by becoming disagreeable. So let's thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight as always. And remember, oh, how good and how pleasant it is to offer brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for that day when we will all sing his praise together. So my Straight Talk family, welcome again, and thank all those who continue to bring first-timers to the program. We are grateful. Please don't stop. Please continue to do so. I must always remind you as well, in particular the first-timers, that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we entertain your calls and we include your emails. If you're minded calling, the numbers are on your screens. And for those who like what I call the cloak of anonymity, we give you access via our email platform, and that address as well is on your screens. And there's some of you who join us via Alexa. We are always grateful to have you. All you got to do is say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. We thank the owner for continuing to provide that access for us at a modest cost. And while it be on cost, I can't forget that some of you have made donations. Some continue to make donations to support our efforts here for on Straight Talk, and we are eternally grateful, and we say a big thank you. I must also reassure you that whatever the size of your donation, we don't stipulate an amount. It's what you think, how you feel, what comes to your liking. But please don't stop, because it helps us to continue this important service. Yes, it's a public service. And others who may wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screens. Very simple process. It will take you right to the payment form. Highly confidential as well. So we thank you again for your support and helping us to keep the dialogue alive. If you're a first timer, you will learn very quickly that very important, we always welcome our junior brigade. We have a junior brigade that we love. Some of you want your names heard, but please, unless I get paternal or maternal, unless your mother or your father said it's okay, I can't call your name. But I can say Jasmine, Young Dwayne, Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, Handy of Nevis. How is Charleston High? Young Rue over there in South Carolina. Haven't heard from your grandmother for some time. Let's trust she's okay. Travis and Trevon. How is school? Haven't seen you as well for some time. Neymar, my grandson. Haven't seen your friend Soraya. Trust she's okay. Elizabeth. And of course, that special lady in St. Louis. She's not part of the junior brigade, but she's a special lady. Never want to get into trouble and omit saying hello to her. We now may start with our observations and review. And in the interest of time, perhaps I will just do one observation, my Street Dog family, and move right into my thesis for tonight, which I have titled Putting the Cart Before the Horse, a Betrayal of Trust. And my observation deals with the health system in St. Kitts Nevis, which continues to be a major concern of doctors, nurses, patients, and the general population alike. But some time ago, I think it was over a year ago, one doctor posted on her Facebook page that patients would die in droves. And we hear so many stories about the JN France General Hospital and the many, many issues. And my Street Dog family, in over 50 years, or rather I should say in the over 50-year history of the JN France General Hospital, only 2 medical doctors have served as Minister of Health. And ironically, they were both trained in Cuba. The first one, Asim Walters Martin, and the current Minister of Health, Terence Michael Drew. And when we've had these doctors serving as Minister of Health, it's the worst management we have seen of the health system, and in particular over there at the hospital. I recall under Asim Martin, when patients got sick, they had to be flown out or they died. Seems like we have gone back there under Terence Michael Drew. And my Street Dog family, I know he told a lie about the dialysis treatment some time ago. I exposed that. And I listened to a former permanent secretary in health, Douglas Watley, and a comment he made last night. And it's about the accounting officer in that ministry, Curtis Wimpy Martin. And we know that Curtis Wimpy Martin left a legacy as Speaker of the National Assembly. According to a retired acting Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean High Court, said that he turned the Parliament into a useless instrument. But now he is in health. How on earth he got there, we know. But he's turning the health system into what we can't find words to describe at this particular moment. But Watley had this to say about Martin, my Straight Talk family.
Can't behave sometime, when I see dumb stupidness happening. I told the Prime Minister, do not hire that PS. You know why? He's a politician. The man was a speaker. He up there bragging, telling them that he at one point in time was the third highest ranking officer in saying it, but now he's PS. He's a politician. From the time he walked in the door, you just divide the organization in half. Those who are pro and those who are against. Why are you putting a politician in that position? And now he's there like a helicopter hovering over the hospital and denying the hospital and the director of health institution the opportunity to get his job done because he's over and over him. He's trying to micromanage a director. When in fact, what you should do is delegate goals and objectives and let the man do his job. And if he fails to perform, you hold him accountable. But you don't want to making rounds. What the hell rounds you making? Huh? You got the DHI. Let the DHI do his job.
I like his language though, my Straight Talk family. He's like a helicopter hovering over the hospital. Affluent description. And he went on to say this about Curtis Wimpy Martin, the former permanent secretary, Douglas Watley, said this as well.
And the other day, he goes on Freedom FM, and all he went there to do is to show off that he's learned something about health. Why would you go on Freedom FM to talk about health, but only work with your PRO? What happened to the PNO? What happened to the DHI? What happened to the Director of Community Health Services? What happened to the CMO? They are specialists in their field. But you go in there, human, as if you are the expert in everything. You mental health, you talking about it. Everything, you are the one talking about it.
Imagine that, my Straight Talk family. And the sad part of it, I mean, when I spoke about the dialysis and the issue, the problems they had at the Jean France Hospital when they ran out of the what is called the liquid that they used to dialyze, I think that's the right term. And you saw the permanent secretary running with these boxes on his shoulder, and Drew came and told a lie. And someone called me, and it really had slipped me, and asked me, how come I did not mention the death at the hospital? And DJ Marishaw reconfirmed that sad incident because of the malfunctioning dialysis unit. No fault of the nurses or the doctors, let me hasten to add. The fault of the management of that system, my Straight Talk family.
The reality is that the unit was closed. The information that was provided was for lack of reagents to do the treatment. There is a young man, I think it's 36 years old, I understand, from Nevis, who was one of those casualties that did not get treatment when he was supposed to. And he received a call from wherever, to inform him that treatment was not available on the scheduled date that he was supposed to be dialyzed. However, treatment will be available on that Saturday. I understand he passed away that morning before receiving his treatment, a former teacher there in Nevis. I am not here to shout fire from the rooftop when there is no fire or if it's smoke. I am speaking in regards to improving our healthcare system. Because, partner, if you have a problem, it doesn't matter how simple it is, and you continue to make excuses instead of trying to put things in place to resolve them, it's not going to end well for either of us. Things in place to resolve them.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, and that's the issue, or one of the issues over there at the JN France General Hospital. As I said, the empirical data we have that whenever you have this doctor performing as a minister of health, be onto the health system. And that's my observation for tonight. As I said, I am a little tardy, little pressed for time. But I wanted to also make mention of this announcement and the groundbreaking ceremony there was of some museum there at Fort Thomas. I trust that this development would not overlook the Irish Town and the Fort Lands Revetment Project. Because if you ever have to take a boat and go around Fort Lands and just look up to the cliff, you won't be driving on that road there coming around Fort Lands. But very interesting of this particular development as well is the connections. And I'll provide some more evidence on my next program. If you recognize our newly appointed High Commissioner to India, Gurdip Dev Bhatt, who gifted a Rolex watch to the contractor, the same contractor that's doing the museum. You can see him there, and this is him there. But we are going to tell you some more about the connections and more about this museum. But my Straight Talk family, I'll leave it at that for tonight, and next time around, we'll fill you in with all the information. But let's move right into my thesis, which I've titled, as I mentioned earlier, Putting the Cart Before the Horse, a Betrayal of Trust. And this thesis, putting the cart before the horse, a betrayal of trust, is more than just a metaphor. It's a sharp indictment on of the political leadership in St. Kitts and Nevis that has abandoned principle for what looks like performance. My Straight Talk family, when any government prioritize optics or headlines, or I should say optics over outcomes, or headlines over honesty, They betray the public trust that forms the foundation of democracy. In politics, in the context of politics, the card can be seen often the announcement, the promise, the press conference, the spectacle, where the horse in this context is the policy, the planning, the ethical deliberation, and the hard, often slow work of governance. But when leaders reverse this order, pushing flashy initiatives without the groundwork to support them, they deceive the public. They offer illusion instead of integrity. Whenever you see them reverse the order and put the cart before the horse, this approach don't work. This approach is not just inefficient, it's dangerous. It erodes public faith, breathes cynicism, and fuels populist backlash, my straight dog family. Worse, it turns politics into theater, while the real issues, inequality, corruption, climate change, civil rights, all remain unaddressed. In so doing, leaders not only fail to deliver, they actively undermine the very trust that gives them the right to govern. A government that puts the cart before the horse doesn't just mismanage, it misleads. And in democracies, that is nothing short of betrayal, my straight dog family. Nothing short of betrayal. So my solemn warning tonight is our democracy is being bypassed, our sovereignty is being undermined, and our rights as citizens are being trampled underfoot, or as we say, trampled upon. The Prime Minister, Terence Michael July, and Snake and Premier of Nevis, Mark Anthony Graham Brantley, have both put the cart before the horse in the most reckless and dangerous way imaginable. They have pushed forward the Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Act, a sweeping, high-stakes piece of legislation without first consulting the people who will be most affected. You and I, the citizens of this federation. This is not just a misstep in governance. This is a direct insult to democracy. Where was the public input? How is it possible that such far-reaching legislation, which gives private developers powers over land, infrastructure, utilities, and even governance within these so-called zones, these could be passed without a single town hall, without a single community meeting, without a single opportunity for you to ask questions or express concerns? Is this how a responsible, transparent government behaves? They tell us this is about sustainability and investment. But what is sustainable about handing over massive portions of our land, thousands of acres, without showing the people what's in the deals? What is sustainable about allowing private actors to govern their own enclaves while our own laws and oversight are pushed to the margins. My Straight Talk family, under immense pressure, Premier Brantley started stakeholder meetings. And yes, he reported he had his first one with the business community. My Straight Talk family. He told us this.
Standard at the end of the day.
I thought we had that lined up. But he had his second meeting, he reported this.
Our
What's going on here, my Straight Talk family?
yesterday morning, we would have
What? We've been having some malfunction here with our soundbites. We had 3 meetings, and he promised a fourth, my Straight Talk family. First one, I tried to provide information. Second one, I tried as well. But my Straight Talk family, he had 3 meetings, and he's promised other meetings. Terrence Michael Drew advertised a meeting for 6 p.m. tonight. But when we came to broadcast, that meeting was not even started. We don't know the reason why. But really, my Straight Talk family, this cannot be about sustainable development. This is a quiet and dangerous centralization of power in the hands of a few behind closed doors without public discussion. And accountability must matter. Let's be clear. The Prime Minister and the Premier had a duty, a constitutional, moral, and political duty to engage the people before passing a law that will affect the very fabric of our nation. Instead, they rushed legislation through Parliament, not because it was urgent for the people, but because it was convenient for their private negotiations with developers, my Straight Talk family. That's the only reason why. They claim to act in our public interests, but you don't act in people's interests by silencing their voice. And this is what they do to the third Prime Minister each time he goes to Parliament, for example. And when asked by Andre Hewitt of SKN Newsline, I liked his response.
Press conference, SK Newsline.
Something seems to be going wrong with my bites for tonight, my Straight Talk family. What's going wrong? That's not good. My Straight Talk family, the third Prime Minister as well promised to repeal legislation.
Leader of the People's Labour Party.
What's going on? I do apologize, my Straight Talk family, for that. Those malfunctioning sound bites. Don't know what's gone wrong, but we see if we can get those up and running. That's not good, because we always like to provide you the evidence, my Straight Talk family. And I do have some important evidence to present tonight. And I trust and hope, my Straight Dog family, that they won't let me down. But my Straight Dog family, you don't protect the nation by bypassing its citizens. And what we are witnessing is not just poor governance. It is governance by decree. The executive power is used to bulldoze public input, override transparency, and bypass the democratic process entirely. And this has to be a dangerous precedent. Because if this law stands as it is, it sets a dangerous precedent that any government can carve out parts of our country and hand them over with special laws, with special privileges, and no real public oversight, my Straight Dog family. And this is frightening. If we accept this, what will they try to pass next in the shadows? And let's just be clear. We are not against investment. We are not against development. But we are against secrecy. We are against backdoor deals. And we are absolutely against the idea that government can sell out our land, our laws, and our future without asking us first. That is what concerns me most, my Straight Dog family. And we demand immediate action. Immediate action, my Straight Dog family, is demanded. We have, my Straight Dog family, to demand the following. We demand the full suspension of all SSZ activities and negotiations until proper nationwide public consultation is conducted in both St. Kitts and Nevis. And not for 2 hours. You can't come to talk about this change to the people and you give us 2 hours. Not at all. We need publication of all proposed zone locations, my Straight Dog family. Investor agreements, they must be published. And legal frameworks before any implementation, my Straight Dog family, must also be published. We need, of course, an amendment. We need an amendment, my Straight Dog family, of the SSC Act to ensure the constitutional protections, limits on developer powers, and full parliamentary and judicial oversight, my Straight Dog family. That's what we need. We do need, my Straight Dog family, a firm commitment that no land will be compulsorily acquired or handed over to any developer without the free, prior, and informed consent of the people affected. These are just some of our demands, my Straight Dog family. We need, as I said, to ensure that all these demands are addressed. Let this be a warning to those in power. We are awake now, wide awake. We are watching. We are organizing, my Straight Dog family. And we will not allow the betrayal of public trust to stand. We will not be sidelined, my Straight Dog family. And we will not be silenced. And we will not let the future of this nation be written in secret boardrooms. That's your plan. Then you better change them. Change them all. We will not allow that. We state categorically, my Shredog family. The Prime Minister and the Premier must answer the people, not after the fact, but before the decisions are made. Before these decisions are made, the Prime Minister must answer the facts, my Shredog family. We know that Brantley, for example, has an arrangement with his wife over Brantley. We know that. But that is not how democracy works. We need sovereignty to be protected. And that is what we are here to defend. In recent weeks, the storm has been brewing. The storm, my Shredog family, has a name. Conflict of interest, nepotism, a breach of public trust. All these are the names of the storm, my Shredog family. And we need, my Shredog family, that the leader, and we know that the leader has openly confessed, my Shredog family, has openly confessed that his wife, a real estate agent, has served as the go-between. She has served as the go-between, my Shredog family. The go-between the investor or developer and the landowners. The go-between in this land transaction involving foreign investors and our landowners. And this cannot be good enough, my Shredog family. Cannot be good enough, and we have to detest it. We have to detest it using all means necessary, my Shredog family. We have to.
And at the end of the day, where the rubber meets the road, it's really a very simple question. Do we want development? And if the answer to that is yes, is this kind of development a development that can benefit us? Very simple. All this emotion and all this chatter that people have, it's just neither here nor there. And so, we have started out as a government because on the 25th of August, when I spoke publicly on the matter, I made a commitment that we will have a series of public engagements. We have started out with a series of stakeholder engagements. And our first one was with the business community. We met at the Four Seasons with the business community for 3 hours. And we shared information with that community about the proposed development on the south coast of Nevis.
Oh, yes, my Shredog family. That was the first meeting. This was the second.
Our second meeting was with the parliamentary opposition. We invited the two members of parliament who sit opposite to come to the cabinet and to meet with the cabinet, and we shared with them all the information that we had on this project. Questions were asked, questions were answered. The meeting was a very cordial meeting. The leader of NRP left that meeting and put out some statement which left all of us scratching our heads.
This was the third meeting, my Shredog family. This was the third meeting. I finally got those sound bites. This was the third meeting.
Yesterday morning, we would have met at the Four Seasons with the church leaders. I'm told that the invitation went out to the Evangelical Association, the Christian Council, and to the Seventh-day Adventists. I confess I don't recall seeing anyone from the Seventh-day Adventist faith, but the other two organizations were very well represented. And again, we had a good meeting. Questions were asked. Some of the members there, you don't need to light no candle to look for them. You know what their politics is. But that didn't matter to us. We engaged. And we engaged respectfully. There were one or two, I thought, unfortunate outbursts. Which were unnecessary because nobody come there to fight. But at the end of the day, I tried to be Christ-like.
And there are other meetings planned, my Straight Talk family.
Tomorrow, God willing, we will again be meeting with, this time, the tourism stakeholders, hotels, taxi drivers, and the stakeholders who are in this important tourism undertaking, seeing that this proposed project is going to be largely tourism related. We then have other meetings that are scheduled. We'll be meeting with the youth. We will be meeting with our contractors and our heavy equipment operators. And then the following week, Monday, 27th of October, we will be having a town hall meeting for the general public at the Anglican Church Hall in Charlestown at 7 p.m.
Yes, my Straight Talk family. And I told you as well that the third Prime Minister was interviewed and said this.
Press conference, SK Newsline questioned Dr. Harris on whether his concerns would have been better addressed in Parliament during the debate on the bill rather than after its passage.
You already know that when I am there, they don't even like me to speak. They don't listen. They don't listen at all. They try to object as often as they could and to bring the House into discord. And when I try to speak to them about it, then Katniss get up. But the speaker push up she mouth and she face. And you see all kind of things that are not complimentary of her or of the Parliament. But I am saying ultimately the bills are about people's business. I am saying that it was their duty before bringing such a bill of such significance to the Parliament to get input from the public so that the public could be seized of it. So whether I am there or not, they would have had the input from a wide cross-section of the country.
Yes, my Straight Talk family. I'm happy that and forgive me for what looks like disorganized, but I had to provide you with the evidence, my Straight Talk family. And I provided you with the evidence. Eventually. My Straight Talk family, we know that Mama Brantley has played an active role in facilitating the sale of lands, or the land, or land. Land that belongs not to him, not to her, but to the people of Nevis. And as a matter of fact, Sharon Mama Brantley is the only contact between the investor and the landowners, my Straight Talk family, the only one. And this came from a loving husband who told us this, my Straight Talk family.
Okay. The only one realtor, so to speak, that is in representing the company at this point?
The only realtor that I'm aware of on Nevis that acts for the company is 17 Degrees North, that is owned by my wife, Sharon Brantley.
Do you think that the public, based on that case scenario, you think that the public's question in terms of the possibility of insider information and or conflict of interest, so to speak, is something that should be of concern?
The public questions are fair. And as a public servant, I don't shy away from questions. But what I've responded to say is that my wife is not involved in any way, shape, or form in any business with the government. I am the head of government, and I can confirm that there are no government lands involved. So there's no buying or selling of government lands. She has been a realtor for 20 years. She has had her own business for 20 years. And I believe that, like any other business, she's entitled to do business. Right? The issue for me is really not what some are suggesting, but whether or not people can show that there is some actual conflict here in some way, shape, or form. I have said publicly that we have to be. Some of us may be making some attacks because it's politically expedient, but we have to be very careful in terms of this role.
But you know, my straight talk family, he's wrong. And this is not just about poor judgment. This is a dangerous entanglement of private gain and public power. And when public leaders use their positions to enrich those closest to them, their friends, their inner circle, and their spouses, their wives, that is nepotism. That is corruption by another name. And again, my straight talk family, when we are told that 10,000 people will gain access to Nevisian's citizenship, or Senkis and Nevis citizenship, that should be, through the Citizenship by Investment Program under a new project, without full clarity, accountability, or citizen input, what are we witnessing is a betrayal of public trust. Make no mistake, this is not about development. It is about deception. It is not wrong to invest in our future. It is not wrong to seek international partners. But when these deals are made behind closed doors, with family members acting as brokers, with no land management policy, no transparency, and no democratic engagement, my straight dog family, we have a crisis on our hands. And this is not about taking political sides. It's about protecting our national integrity and sovereignty. It's about ensuring that Nevis belongs to Nevisians, not to the highest bidder, not to insider brokers, and not to foreign investors who've never set foot on our soil. And we know Mark Brantley has no respect for the local landowners, else he would not make comments, my straight dog family, as he did, like this one.
What is the future that we...
Okay, my straight dog family, I'll get back to that. But he won't make comments, and I'll share those comments with you. Just bear with me, my straight dog family. Those in power, we want to tell them, we are watching you. Mark Brantley, we are watching you. And we will hold you accountable. Not tomorrow, not next year, but today. we will hold you accountable right now, Mark Brantley. We know you disagree that locals should keep their land. Imagine that. You want to give the land over to foreigners. And when the land is gone, it is gone. It won't return, Mark Brantley. And you know that. You know that, Mark Brantley.
What is the future that we're trying to create for our people? Now, some say, oh, the lands on the south of Nevis, keep them in local hands. I understand that sentiment. But do we also accept that if we keep them in local hands, as is suggested, that they have been barren and vacant and abandoned for 100 years, and they will equally be so barren and vacant and abandoned for the next 100 years?
But how many projects you have turned soil for, Mark Brantley? Many of them. Are they barren? That's what you call them? Think about it yourself, Mark Brantley. Think about it. Think about all those projects. You had a groundbreaking for. Think about Paradise Palms. Think about the Fisherman Cabana, the Candy Resorts, the Butler's Development, and all of them have not come off the ground. What about the waste to energy plant at Long Point? So why you don't accept that the people of Nevis deserve to own their lands? To the people of Nevis, the land is yours. The power is yours. The future is yours. All we have to do is stand together. Profit will be derived by Sharon Mama Brantley, who is the wife of the Premier and head of the NIA cabinet. And this constitutes a clear conflict of interest. This husband and wife relationship influences or appears to influence official decision making, and it amounts to a violation of basic governance standards. In most Commonwealth jurisdictions, including ours, conflict of interest laws, whether codified or drawn from common law principles, require public officials to recuse themselves from decisions where personal relationships may compromise their impartiality. The involvement of Sharon Mama Brantley, Premier Brantley's wife, in a project so closely tied to the national interest is incompatible with expectations of transparency, accountability, and fair governance. My straight talk family, land transactions without a management plan or public consultation is not good enough. We stand today at a decisive threshold. What we decide now will either strengthen our federation, secure our dignity, or quietly erode what our ancestors fought so long to build. May we be wise, may we be courageous, and may we never forget, true independence means we are not only free, but we are masters of our own destiny. We do not need glossy presentations of foreign development jargon. We want the Prime Minister to stand before the people and say the act will be repealed, period. We were told about a massive land assembly effort on the south coast of Nevis. We haven't been told of St. Kitts. We were told that this was an opportunity. But what we were not told is far more important. We were not told the cost of the project. We were not told about the development plan. We were not told about how public access will be preserved, or whether our beaches, coastlines, and sacred spaces will be walled off and privatized in the name of progress. And we were certainly not told that the wife of the Premier of Nevis, Sharon Mama Brantley, was recruited by Belgian developer Olivier Janssens as a go-between with local landowners. Now I ask you, is this transparent governance? Is this ethical leadership? Or is this insider dealing disguised as development? The public has a right to know. Did the Premier of Nevis act in collusion with a foreign developer? Is Mama Brantley complicit in facilitating the transfer of ancestral lands into foreign hands? And most importantly, is this project serving our people or serving private interests behind closed doors? These are not just political questions. These are questions of principle. The solemn obligation of elected officials to act in the best interest of the public, to put the people's needs ahead of personal or political gain. Let us not forget, once the land is gone, it is gone. Look at Christopher Harbour, a glaring example. Our ancestors fought, toiled, and sacrificed to pass down land to their children and their children's children. That legacy cannot be for sale. And no, Premier Brantley, Nevisians will not accept your view that the land should be transferred to outsiders with no stake in our heritage. The people of Nevis will not stand idly by while you ignore their will and their right to self-determination. And Terence Michael Drew, be warned. You have a duty not just to govern, but to protect. To the Prime Minister, we say repeal the act. Do it tonight. Show the people that you still serve them and not the interests of foreign developers. Anything less is unacceptable. To the Premier of Nevis, we say come clean. The people deserve the full truth. No spin, no deflection, just honesty. And to the people of this Twin Island Federation, let this be a turning point. Let this be the moment we say enough. Enough secrecy, enough land grabs, enough selling out our sovereignty. Destiny is not a foreign project. Destiny is what we choose to build together as Nevisians and Kittitians, as proud people of an independent nation. And hear this. I saved this for last because I want you to listen carefully, my Straight Talk family, to the professionals, and this professional in particular. Because Olivier Janssen put together a group of professionals. One is Dr. Andreas Baumgartner. And you can glean from that PowerPoint that he's a specialist in SEZ governance, Special Economic Zones governance. But we listen carefully to Dr. Baumgartner, and he educated us about South or Special Economic Zones. He said this, first of all.
Special economic zones, as defined by the United Nations, are geographically delimited areas within which governments facilitate industrial activity through fiscal and regulatory incentives and infrastructure support. If you look at this definition, there are three core elements. And if you only take one thing from this lecture, it's those three elements. It's a geographically delimited zone. You could speak of it as an island within the country. It has got its own set of rules and regulations. And why does it have that? To serve the purposes of a specific economic objectives. That's what we're talking about. A zone set up to achieve business objectives.
I need to repeat that, my street dog family. I want you to be certain and be clear of what I said, who this individual is. My street dog family, as you can see from your screens, Dr. Andreas Baumgartner is one of the professionals that have been bundled together by the developer Olivier Janssens. He's an expert with over 2 decades of practicing experience and co-founder of the Metis Institute, the world's premier consulting firm for creation of legal frameworks for autonomous zones. He's a specialist in the interaction between national law and autonomous zones and the way in which jurisdictional arbitrage can be used to drive economic growth in countries. And he has been hired by Johnson. And this is another excerpt from a lecture he presented.
So, actually, over the last decades, we have seen a massive rise of special economic zones. There are currently around 6,000 special economic zones around the world. 6,000. Now, not all of them are successful. I would actually argue that a small share is super successful and has really left an imprint on their home countries. There is a large number of zones that are so la-la, they are not failing, but they are also not really leaving a big impact. And then you have the zones that, frankly speaking, have failed.
My Dog family, he also said this.
Special economic zones, as defined by the United Nations, are geographically delimited areas within which governments facilitate industrial activity through fiscal and regulatory incentives and infrastructure support. If you look at this definition, there are 3 core elements. And if you only take one thing from this lecture, it's those 3 elements. It's a geographically delimited zone. You could speak of it as an island within the country. It has got its own set of rules and regulations. And why does it have that? To serve the purposes of a specific economic objectives. That's what we're talking about. A zone set up to achieve business objectives.
An island within a country, said my Dog family. But more importantly, he said this as well.
What makes a special economic zone special? What gives you the best chances of actually succeeding so that this is not just another Solala project? And one thing I can tell you for sure is it's not enough. It is not enough to put a fence about some random piece of real estate, put up a sign, special economic zone, and think suddenly everybody will come and want to invest in your place. That is simply not enough. For a special economic zone to be successful, you need to go further. How can you do that? There are a couple of success factors of special economic zones. The first factor is it has got special rules. It has got its own autonomy. So it is a system that on purpose and by intention is set up with a set of rules that are different from the surrounding area, with a set of rules that is tailored to making for the best business and increasing the living environment possible, with rules tailored to the specific purpose of the zone.
And what is the specific purpose of this special economic zone in Nevis? And you will tell us as well as the purpose of the zones he planned for St. Kitts. But my Straight Talk family, as I mentioned earlier, Brantley don't give a damn about the local landowners when he would say this.
What is the future that we're trying to create for our people? Now some say, oh, the lands on the south of Nevis, keep them in local hands. I understand that sentiment. But do we also accept that if we keep them in local hands, as is suggested, that they have been barren and vacant and abandoned for 100 years, and they will equally be so barren and vacant and abandoned for the next 100 years?
Imagine that. That's what he thinks about you local people. Instead of putting in the infrastructure as he promised in 2022. All those projects and the barren, as I called, I cited earlier, Paradise Palms, Fisherman Cabana, Candy Resorts, Butlers, development, the waste to energy plant at Long Point. And we can't forget geothermal for over 20 years. My Straight Talk family, we have to be careful with this island inside the island, as this advisor of Johnson has said.
Special economic zones, as defined by the United Nations, are geographically delimited areas within which governments facilitate industrial activity through fiscal and regulatory incentives and infrastructure support. If you look at this definition, there are three core elements. And if you only take one thing from this lecture, it's those three elements. It's a geographically delimited zone. You could speak of it as an island within the country. It has got its own set of rules and regulations. And why does it have that? To serve the purposes of a specific economic objectives. That's what we're talking about. A zone set up to achieve business objectives.
And if you only take one thing from Straight Talk tonight, the Special Economic Zone in Nevis, according to Dr. Andreas Baumann-Gartner, is going to be an island in a country, an island in Nevis, to serve its own objectives. My Straight Talk family, let us reclaim our land. Restore trust in our leadership and chart the path forward by people for the people. The people cannot accept putting the cart before the horse. It's a betrayal of our trust. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I started a little late tonight, so don't you worry. I'll give you back your time if you so desire. But I'll open the lines at this moment and entertain your calls and your emails. And when I do so momentarily, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us, in the process of saying and doing those things, ensure that they are beneficial to all concerned. And in that said process, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. It's 9:25, and I go straight to the lines, my True Dog family. And say good night to our first caller. Caller, you live.
Good night, Mr. Good night, Mr. Liber.
Good night, my dear. I recognize that voice.
It's better to be broken apart.
To be broken apart?
It's better to be broken apart by the truth than to be fixed together with a lie.
And to be fixed together with a lie.
With a lie. I repeat, it's better to be broken apart by the truth than to be fixed together with a lie. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Always have some thought-provoking quotations. It's better to be broken apart by the truth than to be fixed together with a lie. I'm sure we'll all agree with that. I'll go back to the lines and say good night to this caller. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes. Good night, Brother Patches.
Good night, my lord.
This is the voice. This is the voice of political activist, freedom fighter for the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The horse, the cart is before the horse. How could a man build a house from the top, coming down to the foundation? Same thing. In the terms of understanding, the government is the people, it came from the people, and it is of the people. So anything that the government do, the people must be aware of it first. The people must be consulted first. And the decision of the people will triumph. Now, these set of people, they came into power by the people, from the people, with the trust by the people, from the people, and promised to represent the people. And what did they do? They have created a different path and leave the people behind when they should have been traveling forward with the people. You see this trickery? You see this nonsense? You see this foolishness? And anticipate that we, the people, will catch up with them when they're already gone 100 knocks per hour. Now hear this. This situation, what the government did. I'm not even going to say the government, because the government is the people. The people is being left behind and not with them. Hell no. Everything must be repealed and restart. Consult with us. Okay? Consult with us. Or else there will be nothing. And I'm riling up the people. Don't be fooled. These people do their nonsense and then come to be asking us to be merciful. We cannot be merciful because they already persecute us already. So there is no way that this SSV zone gonna go forward. And I'm asking the people to rile up and trample these people and say hell no, because it's not gonna happen. But I'm gonna say this. The next upcoming election, people, do not put these people back in. That will be one way of knocking this zone down and all these cart before the mule or cart before the horses to proceed. Because I don't know how that cart going to proceed when the mule is not in front to pull it or haul it. And for that reason, this is nonsense. These people are authoritarian, and they are all about money. Where the money will go in terms of whatever investment. The money ain't going down to the people. The people ain't getting nothing from these thieves. These kleptocrats, they are all for themselves. Whatever money in this zone or any investment is for them. People, don't be fooled. Don't let these kleptocrats, these thieves. I'm telling you, I have hatred for them. Okay? And I think hate is too good. Okay? All I need to do is to get myself a seat, and there will be a war. I'm going to say war. This is my tongue. This is my mouth. I'm responsible for it. And I'm asking people to rally with me in solidarity when these government fools are doing these things to us. I will be the first revolutionist to step forward and stand up against any one of these people. This SSD zone, these people who try to get our lands to do whatever investment, let them go somewhere else. We don't need them. We could do other things with our land, whether it was there 1,000 years, 2,000 years ago. We don't need this kind of way. It starts off bad and it must end bad. And I say hell no to that. I will leave it there and I'll come back in again. Thank you, Brother Patches.
Thank you very much, my dear brother, for your usual passionate and assertive presentations. And, I go straight back to the lines and say good night to this caller. You're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patches. Good evening, man. How you doing tonight, man?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. Good night to you and the listeners home and abroad. Straight to it. It's amazing to see that what's going on in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I'm happy that you went off and you talk about the situation there at the hospital with the dialysis machine. Yeah, a question was posed to the Prime Minister. Thank you for acknowledging that person that died, and I want to send condolences myself about the hospital there with this dialysis situation. At the round table, a question was posed to the Prime Minister about that situation. I don't even think that he even acknowledged that death. He didn't even send condolences to the family of that person. That's not showing any empathy or sympathy to the citizens at all. Me personally, I don't really think these guys care about the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis.
They care about themselves.
And Patches, what's going on in Nevis? I'm switching straight over to Nevis. What's going on with this SSD law? The people of St. Kitts got to realize this is not a Nevis law. It's a federal law going to affect both islands. The initiator and the originating place may be Nevis Southside lands, but the transparency is not there. We don't know. And from what we can see, something is coming down the pike for St. Kitts as well. Remember that Ritz-Carlton is planning to come over there and those beach areas and the local people there in St. Kitts, the bar owners are being pushed off the beach as well. But anyway, Patches, no one is going to convince me that what's going on in Nevis, that there is no conflict of interest. The Premier himself said in Parliament that he wants these economic citizens to come into the Federation. They would never take in 10,000 Haitians. The influence of these rich people that comes in is going to change the political makeup of Nevis, of that district over there. And we already hear the Premier asking for increased seats. We have to pay attention to this. This is like one person padding up. This is like padding up a district. Because if these citizens come in and they can vote, because we know that they're going to get citizenship. And you can answer that question. Once a citizen, you'll be allowed to vote. won't you?
Yes.
So that the political makeup is going to change over there. This is the Premier's district. So we got to pay attention to the ramifications down the road. Definitely. He's asking for what? 2 more seats on Nevis? But
Yep.
Patches, when I listened to the Premier, right, he said that there was something left with the team unity to increase the Nevis seats to 7. But is he saying he's going to settle for 5? He wants an increase of 2. But there was something that was on the table for 7 seats for Nevis during COVID. I mean, can you do some homework on that? And
I'm not aware of that. He wants 7 seats for Nevis and 5 for St. Kitts, 5 in the federal parliament.
Okay, maybe I stand corrected. I stand corrected there. And that's what he put it.
5.
Yeah, okay. But the people got to realize, man, there's only a few ways to stop this stuff from going forward, and it's to create that instability. But the people got to realize they are the ones that got the power in their hands. My biggest thing, yes, Patches, is that the land is already changing hands. And you mentioned a few things that the Premier said about like consultation or meetings coming up. You realize the last group of people that he's going to approach in that town hall meeting is the general public on the 27th of October.
That's right.
It's the last group of people that they're going to consult with. It's the general population.
Imagine that. Eh?
That's absurd. We needed that consultation before, and now they seemingly is going to ram this down the people's throats. So if we can't get the people to come off the party lines and hit the street because this is a national issue, then we might just have to wait for the election. When the election comes, replace and repeal. Thanks and Patches to all these behaviors of these politicians and that principle and that moral character that they don't have and these treasonous behavior that they're displaying, it all appeals to that Bryant clause. And thank you. I'll leave it there tonight. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much as well. My Street Talk family. Not certain how you actually included that Brian Claus comment though, but it's entirely different. But yes, you're correct. The Brantley said he wanted 7 seats for his NIA and 5 seats for the federal government. And I'm trying to sort that matter out while we speak. Yes. And we always provide you the information. And this is what Mark Brantley said about the seats in Nevis. He said this.
We want to increase the number of seats in Nevis to 7, a plan that we had before that was put on hold because of COVID. Why? Because the rigors of government now are far more than they were in 1983 when we became independent. We want to see 5 federal seats on Nevis, and we'll be speaking to the government in St. Kitts about expanding that. 10 in St. Kitts, 5 in Nevis, 15 seats. Again, the demands of modern government suggests that we need more people, a broader range of talent in government.
He's not trying to equalize the boundaries or the constituencies, or he's trying to increase his seats because he needs a broader representation in the parliament. And my Straight Talk family, you've heard the talk about an island in an island. And Dr. Baumgartner, who is actually working with the developer, said this about an island in the country.
Special economic zones, as defined by the United Nations, are geographically delimited areas within which governments facilitate industrial activity through fiscal and regulatory incentives and infrastructure support. If you look at this definition, there are three core elements. And if you only take one thing from this lecture, it's those three elements. It's a geographically delimited zone. You could speak of it as an island within the country. It has got its own set of rules and regulations. And why does it have that? To serve the purposes of a specific economic objectives. That's what we're talking about. A zone set up to achieve business objectives.
And that's coming from Dr. Baumgartner. And as he said, if there's one thing you ought to get from Straight Talk tonight, it's about the economic zones, sustainable economic zones. It's all about geographical delimited zones. In his words, an island in the country. Their own rules and their specific economic objectives. Good evening, my brother. Reads this email. I could not see what is going on in our federation and not jog a few memories. Judas is alive and well across the Narrows. How dare him bring a white Belgian native to insult our intelligence to tell us he has been in division for 10 years? Judas always tells us how bright he is, but when Benjamins are on the table, he's not bright anymore. Patches, King Leopold of Belgium cut off our brothers and sisters' arms, legs and breasts if they slacked off in the rubber plantations in the Belgian Congo. What makes Judas think this destiny modern day Jim Jones would not do that to his fellow countrymen? Patches, I have some waterfront property for sale in Monkey Hill. Nevis, you all have to chase this bald-head sheriff out of the town fast. Good night, my brother. Much respect and love. Be safe. God bless. Reads this email. This other email reads, Mr. Dwyer, I want you to be more objective and fair-minded. I look forward to your weekly commentary and counting on some of what you uttered. Albeit I discount something you said this week. And in my opinion, you must know that the Speaker and Congress especially has made their hatred, their dislike, their aversion, their hostility, repugnance, and intolerance against the third Prime Minister Harris so obvious that every conscious person have come to recognize whenever opposition attends the sitting of Parliament. And that is an incontrovertible fact, Dwyer, that you dare not gainsay. Your good friend Commentary pointed it out some time ago on his Friday afternoon program. He said the Speaker is very hostile to Harris and she must cease that of the House and give opposition a fair chance to be heard. Those were Sam's words. I am calling on you, Dwyer, to do a commentary on the Speaker hostile attitude towards Harris, and in so doing, let us hear your opinion of her neglected duty in not bringing the minutes of the House in conformity with the laws and rules of the House on time. So for you to articulate that Harris neglected his duty to absent himself from Parliament when the SSZ bill was debated is meaningless. He was absolutely right to absent himself and say what he had to say to the people outside where no one is able to obstruct and hinder him from ventilating his message. You see, Dwyer, your antagonistic hatred for Harris seemed very personal. You're always talking about peace, forgiveness, love, etc., giving a false impression that you are so sincere. But Harris was asked by the media about that very same issue, and this was his response.
Press conference, SK Newsline questioned Dr. Harris on whether his concerns would have been better addressed in Parliament during the debate on the bill rather than after its passage.
You already know that when I am there, they don't even like me to speak. They don't listen. They don't listen at all. They try to object as often as they could and to bring the House into discord. And when I try to speak to them about it, then can't risk get up. But the speaker push up she mouth and she face. And you see all kind of things that are not complimentary of her or of the Parliament. But I am saying ultimately the bills are about people's business. I am saying that it was their duty before bringing such a bill of such significance to the Parliament to get input from the public so that the public could be seized of it. So whether I am there or not, they would have had the input from a wide cross-section of the country.
And yes, my Shedrock family, the third Prime Minister also went on to say this.
Leader of the People's Labour Party, the PLP, Dr. Timothy Harris, has issued a sharp warning over the Destiny, the controversial mega development planned for the southern coast of Nevis under the Special Sustainability Zone SSZ legislation. Speaking at his party's monthly press conference held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort on Tuesday, October 14th, Dr. Harris claimed the project poses a serious threat to national sovereignty. He argued that the SSZ allows for a creation of what he describes as a sovereign country within the Federation, calling the law dangerous and insisting it must be repealed.
And if Destiny has a different set of laws, or no laws at all, that is the same as Destiny being a different state. When you go on over there, it is in something different. The learned King Counsel, Charles Wilkin, some said he came out of retirement, but I say God bless him. He was right. And his son, Gart Wilkin, was wrong. Because when you listen to him, you can't help concluding the law is a bad one and will, if not repealed, that's my word, create a state within a state. And we have to be watchful.
We go back to the lines, my Shedrock family, and say good night to this caller.
How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
How is your family? Everybody is good?
Yeah, peaceful. And you and yours?
Okay. Yes, we are blessed.
Okay.
Not because we ain't get justice yet, but justice shall come and justice shall be here with the spoken and the Woodley family when the time is right and when God ready in his own time. Because karma do not play. What is the topic for tonight?
Well, we're putting the cart before the horse. A betrayal of trust.
Oh, okay.
You've ever seen a cart before the horse?
Yes.
And what happened?
Well, when you see the cat before, I think he pulled down, something like that. I destroyed, something like that.
Cat pulled down.
Yes.
I'm not laughing at you, Al, but I like your response.
Anyhow,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
That's right. Anyhow, I'm here listening to the town hall meeting. I think they're getting a little frightened because the election just around the corner. And next thing again, I'm listening to AG and the man from New York, Edinburgh and AG. They don't know one thing what they're saying. All what they're in there for, all what they want the Prime Minister for, is to get that money on time. And they ain't doing no hard work for it. But just chatting nonsense, foolishness coming from them all telling him. They're putting on blindness on the eye and he can't see. It's one tongue for them in a Mr. Lai, but one tongue they're going back in there now. He and he cabal them. They're not going back in there because they don't know one shit what they're doing. From the time that you get in office, he promised the people of thinking all kind of promise. And he ain't stick to the promise. He got everybody thinking like they were in blinders. They're blind to everything. But one day the truth shall come out. One day the truth shall come out because whatever you tell the people right now inside the talk I'll be now, a pure lie. From the time he gets in that pure lie, he tells things to get in government. That is why he tells Timothy Harris what he wants a fair election and he do a fair election without kind of red powder they not spraying the ear. And brainwash the young man them to decide that the world will not work. We give them money. And let a young man now work. And let a young man now work. He used to pay the 250 job, he stopped that. The 500, he stopped that. The money where he used to pay, he stopped that there too. The CBI money. From the time he gets in office, he has done nothing of this country here.
You've been following the issues with this special zones, economic zones. You've been following it?
No.
You haven't been following it? The issues with the lands?
No.
No?
No.
I thought you were listening to the town hall just now.
Yes, I'm listening to it.
So
I'm listening to it.
Wasn't that he's talking about?
Yes, I'm listening to AG and the man from Nyungong talking about land. Edinburgh.
So you don't understand what they were saying? That's what you're saying?
Yes. They cannot give our land to outside people because we will have a right to stone Dr. Joe and he cabal them out of office. You cannot give people from outside people than inside this place here. So what happened to people inside this in this place here? None for them? How can I like that tell the people and the people like some I don't know what to say, like some dumb ass stuff out there inside there are listening to him.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for your usual interventions, and I trust you have the best of what's left of tonight. And
Mr. Laibar,
have a wonderful weekend as well. Yes. Yes, my dear.
I ain't cutting off people ever because no people have to call in.
Yeah,
I sending out this message here to the commissioner, telling him time is running out. My brother needs his justice. Time is running out.
Yeah, but your brother, your brother has
because I'm going to fix you and the police with me more. Contact me in the Bible.
Okay. Okay, then have yourself a wonderful night, my dear. And your brother has not found it fit to have a chat with me, so we can get behind those facts. But it's his choice, no doubt. It's 6 before the 10 o'clock hour. We will go a little after 10 o'clock for those who may still want to get in, because we started a little late, so I'll give you back your time. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller?
Captain?
Yes. So, sounds like the Bible man. How are you? How art thou, sir?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
I'm fine, Mr. Patel.
Yes. What's on your mind tonight?
Psalms 150.
150.
The word of God said 1,000 1,000 cattle on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
He said, they are mine. He said, if I were hungry, I would not tell you. He said, the world is mine and thereof. So the Lord is saying tonight, the whole world belongs to him. And the cattle 1,000 head is his. The beast, the beast of the forest, all them are his. Now Psalm 41, that is my favorite passage scripture. Blessed is the man that considereth the poor. In the time of trouble, the Lord shall deliver him. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 22. He said, rob not the poor, because he is poor. And he turned back around and he said, don't press the oppressor because afflicted. So now, my God, tonight in the name of Jesus of Nazareth, Psalms 107, Mr. Patches. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord for his good.
His mercies endure forever.
For his mercy endured forever.
Yes.
He said, let the redeemer of the Lord say so. We have redeemed from the hands of the enemy. Lamentation chapter 3. He said, it is the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed. That is, it is God's mercy that we are living today. And every morning we're supposed to give God thanks and praise, Mr. Patrick. We are not our own. We were bought with a price. We're not supposed to do as I will like. But listen here tonight. The last passage scripture I can leave with you. It is an appointment once to die. But after that is the judgment. That is good night.
Good night, my dear brother. And yes, the judgment, as you said. And we all will appear before the judgment seat of Christ. And hear this, we cannot take any witnesses. You and you alone. And you may be recompensed for the things that you have done. Call your life.
Yes, Brother Patches again, good night. This is the voice of Winston. Welcome again. Patches, I'm going to give you my observation. Throughout your shows for a long time now, there are regulars who will call in, and there are very few. And I believe that we could count the amount of callers on our one hand. Okay, I'm a regular. I know Burl Jones is a regular. Now and again, a couple people comes in. But we are not hearing the voice of the people of St. Kitts. And I know within their heart, they grumbled, or they don't have the apparatus, the means of getting information to understand what is going on in their country. Because why it is just a few of us that you could count on your fingers that call in is the people of St. Kitts care? Because I know for a fact 2 of us out here fighting, and I'm wondering if others are on board, because the government side, they are going full force ahead because they have the power. What happened to the people on the planet of St. Kitts and Nevis, how do they feel? Or are they getting the information that we are getting out here? We out here are full with information and knowledgeable. That's why we could speak so boldly. So I need to know if the people of St. Kitts cares or they're not. Are we fighting a losing battle? Should we shut up our mouth? But I am not discouraged. And I know Burl is not discouraged. I could speak for him and he could speak for me. And we're going to keep the fire burning to the end. Patches, I didn't leave you out. Okay? So I am saying to the people of St. Kitts, find a way to know what's going on from every inch of your country and make a decision when you all go to the ballot. Because what is going on, it is so absurd, so nasty, so criminal, so sinister, so wrong. These people are putting the cart before the mule. And that cannot happen. We are not fools. I for one is not a fool. And they can try to fool those people down there and do the thing, do whatever they want to do, as they like, without consulting the people. But their days are numbered. Last but not least, why don't they suspend all these SSD zones and what other plans to become and do it after election since they are going to win? Because why are they going to create havoc for the next administration to come? To go repeal? If you are adamant and if you think you are, if they think they are going to get that permission, wait until after the election. Suspend whatever it is until after the election. And if you win, then you go with it. Because the people, they make their bed and they will lie in it. And too late shall be the cry. Suspend all these zones and this town hall meeting and stop force these bullcrap down people's throat. It's not going to work. But you all have the power and you all try to use power over the people. But the power isn't the people. People, you got the power. These people cannot do as they like. Repeal. Say hell no to these things that they are doing. It is wrong. And all these things is only for money in their pocket. After their pocket is full, they can go anywhere they need to. But if this administration change, we're going to hunt them down. I, for one, will find them. Thank you.
Man, I'm coming back in just because I heard that other caller made some critical observations, and I want to back him up. We are not seeing enough outcry on the ground. We're not seeing it. The people either don't care or they're not getting the information. We are privy to so much information out here, it ain't funny. Clips are rolling through, man, like the train coming into Central Park Station in New York. But is what's going on in St. Nevis. We need the people to come off the party lines and unite in the streets. I personally believe that the people need to force a referendum on this SSC law. That's as many nights I come on here and I said to you and the listeners, there is no opposition across the Narrows. The Premier and the Prime Minister got the country deadlocked. They're going to run away with all reckless spending and every manner of other things they want to do. That's why we are here where we are now. That guy that spoke on that AI clip about Destiny coming to Nevis, the man said he's a Nevisian for a decade already. Imagine a white man telling us that and what they're going to do in our own country. That is crazy.
Okay.
Those lands, a road didn't, the infrastructure didn't go into those lands over there to benefit the local people. Now we're gonna see how fast the infrastructure goes in if they get this thing through.
Okay.
The people need to force a referendum, or otherwise force the prime minister to call the election. That's what needs to happen with this SSD law because they're not listening to the people. The people's voices are not being heard. They are doing what they want to do with St. and Nevis. The people need to force a referendum on this SSD law or force the Prime Minister to go back to the polls. Let the people speak on this stuff. 2 years out for an election is not enough time for them to be forcing this on the people.
Okay.
We need what do they call that? We need that referendum to go forward.
Okay.
The people must decide on this.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure we have much support about the need for a referendum on this issue. Because these land transactions without a management plan or public consultation. And today we stand at a decisive threshold. What we decide now will either strengthen our federation, secure our dignity, or quietly erode what our ancestors fought so long and hard to build. But I pray that we may be wise, that we may be courageous, and that we never forget that true independence, my straight dog family, means we are not only free, but we are masters of our destiny. We do not need glossy presentations, not at all, of foreign development jargon, no AI presentations, no AI generated videos, none. We want the Prime Minister to stand before the people and say the act is repealed. And as we wind down tonight's programming, my straight dog family, that I want to say that the massive land assembly effort on the south coast of Nevis we are told that this was an opportunity. But what we were not told is far more important, I should say. We were not told about the project cost. We were not told about the development plans. We were not told about how public access will be preserved, whether our beaches, coastlines, and sacred spaces will be walled off and privatized in the name of progress. And we were not told, we were certainly not told, that the wife of the Premier of Nevis, Sharon Mama Brantley, was recruited by Belgian developer Olivier Janssens as a go-between with local landowners. Now I ask you, is this transparent governance? Is this ethical leadership? Or is this insider dealing, my Street Dog family, disguised as development? The public has a right to know. Did the Premier of Nevis act in collusion with a foreign developer? Is Mama Brantley complicit in facilitating the transfer of ancestral lands into foreign hands? And when your land is gone, it's gone. It's not going to come back. And most importantly, is this project about serving our people or about serving private interests behind closed doors? And these are not political questions as we wind down tonight's program in my Straight Talk family. These are questions of principle. These are questions of fiduciary duty, the solemn obligation of elected officials to act in the best public interests, to put people's needs ahead of personal or political gain. Let us not forget, as I said, once the land is gone, it's gone. The Premier wanted the south coast of Nevis to be the Southeast Peninsula 2.0, he said. But we know and we see what's happened on the Southeast Peninsula. We see what happened with Buddy Darby. Buddy Darby promised to pump trillions into the economy. And after 20 years, he still owes the National Bank and the government an accumulated total of over $130 million. An order was sought and granted by the court for him to surrender 430 acres of land. And you know what Drew said about Buddy Darby? Our ancestors fought, toiled, and sacrificed to pass down land to their children and their children's children. That legacy cannot be for sale. But Mark Brantley don't care about that. He does not care about the local landowners, as else he would not say this.
What is the future that we're trying to create for our people? Now some say, oh, the lands on the south of Nevis, keep them in local hands. I understand that sentiment. But do we also accept that if we keep them in local hands, as is suggested, that they have been barren and vacant and abandoned for 100 years, and they will equally be so barren and vacant and abandoned for the next 100 years?
And that's what he thinks about you local landowners. Instead of putting in the infrastructure and opening up the interior, open up the lands. And no, Premier Brantley Nevisians will not accept your view that the land should be transferred to outsiders with no stake in our heritage. The people of Nevis, the majority, will not stand by idly while you ignore their will and their right to self-determination. You have an obligation, a duty, not just to govern, but to protect. To the Prime Minister, we say, repeal the act tonight. Do it tonight. Show the people that you will still serve them and not the interests of foreign developers. Anything less is unacceptable. To the Premier of Nevis, we say, come clean. The people deserve the full truth. No spin, no deflection, just honesty is what we deserve. And to the people of this Twin Island Federation, let this be a turning point. Let this be a moment when we say enough. Enough secrecy. Enough land grabs. Enough selling out our sovereignty. Destiny is not a foreign project. Destiny is what we choose to build together as divisions, as Kititians, as proud people of an independent nation. And I leave you with this for the last. Listen carefully, my Street Dog family. This is Dr. Baumgartner. He's engaged by the developer, Olivier Janssens, as a specialist on special economic zones governance. And this is what he says about an island in a country. Listen carefully, my Street Dog family. This is what he said. And this is what will happen in Nevis, believe it or not.
Special economic zones, as defined by the United Nations, are geographically delimited areas within which governments facilitate industrial activity through fiscal and regulatory incentives and infrastructure support. If you look at this definition, there are three core elements. And if you only take one thing from this lecture, it's those three elements. It's a geographically delimited zone. You could speak of it as an island within the country. It has got its own set of rules and regulations. And why does it have that? To serve the purposes of a specific economic objectives. That's what we're talking about. A zone set up to achieve business objectives.
And that's what Straight Talk will leave with you, my Straight Talk family. And our quotation as well, it's better to be broken apart by the truth than to be fixed together with a lie. And you heard what was just said. Three things: geographical delimited zones, or simply put, an island in the country, with their own set of rules and own set of regulations, and specific economic objectives. Let us reclaim our land, my Street Dog family. Restore trust in leadership and chart a path forward by the people, for the people. Because the people cannot accept putting the cart before the horse. And that's my story tonight, my Street Dog family, and I am not going to change it. I must thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I must thank you, the many viewers, the many listeners, those who call and those who send emails. Remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And I say thank you. A big, big thank you. And until we connect on Monday for another edition of Straight Talk, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Be good to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceives, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light.